Sir Philip, thank you for that inspiring speech. We want to maximize you. We want to maximize everything that you are in the context of a discussion. You graciously have accepted to discuss with a great leader of, in the Olympic movement of gender equality. This is a fantastic athlete and women leader in the Olympic movement. She is an Olympian, a medalist from 1976, an IOC member from 1986, the first chairman of the IOC Women's Commission back only a year after Brighton in 1995. She was also the first vice president of the International Olympic Committee. We're going to ask her to join Sir Philip for a conversation, a discussion on what we can do in concrete terms to, well, lead the change and be the change. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Anita DeFrantz. Are you good? Good to see you.
Thank you.
Please join us.
Thank you. Is my microphone? Yes, it's on. Good.
It's on. How are you, Anita?
Good, thank you.
Listen, thank you for taking the time to enter into this discussion. We thought that we could go a little bit deeper into what you perceive being the change up until this point, and perhaps what we can do into the future, perhaps in more concrete terms. My opening question to you in your discussion would be to look at what is the most fundamental change that has occurred in favor of greater gender equality in your time in the Olympic and Paralympic movement. What would it be if you had one thing to say? Most fundamental change up until now. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'll go first.
You want to go first? All right.
Or if you want to go. That's it. I'm just kidding. Please, go ahead.
But I'm not going to be very concrete. I think, you know, I told you what the end of our vision was, but the beginning of it is to enable Paralympic athletes to achieve sporting excellence, and then they inspire and excite the world. Probably the most important word there is enable. We've heard the word empower. And so we don't do it for athletes, they do it for themselves. But I think you've got to create an environment, you've got to create a stage upon which people can perform. Yeah. And if you do that and make them welcome and say, and encourage the difficult people, you know, the people who've got ideas and they say, you're not doing this right and all this and we want change, then don't say, oh, they're trouble, reject them. You've got to sort of, it's difficult at times, but you've got to embrace that. And I think what I've tried to do is to create a very open environment so that everyone feels welcome, as I said before.
So there's an open environment for change. That's concrete, I think.
I think it's very important.
Yes. Anita.
Yeah, you know, my answer is going to be a little bit different. I would say that the biggest difference is the press coverage of women in sport.
The press coverage. That's. Yes. Tell us more about that, yes.
Because if you look at the press coverage of the games, and we'll take the games in Sochi, you will find that it's proportionate to the number of women and men on a team in the countries back home. And the athletes are treated with respect, and the efforts of the athletes are treated with respect. And it's not a joke, it's not something extraordinary that women are doing remarkable things. And so it's become, shall we say, more respectful, and it is truly reporting, not just speculating.
Great insight. Listen, I think that we've come a long way. That was a great insight, I think. That's true. More media, actually, probably in the future. You know, looking at your figures, at least on participation, I think we can be fairly content with the way things have been going. The figures in London, at least from what I read from your reports, is 44%. I mean, we're close to a 50-50 split in Olympic participation. However, we seem to have a problem with this psychological and real 20% line in leadership, the NOCs, the federations elsewhere. What are the kinds of things we can do to really instigate that kind of change, to transform that 20% into 30 and 40% in the future? What are is it a behavioral thing? Is it things that we need to put in place structurally? But what do we need to do to have the same kind of success that we're having on broad participation in elite sport to the upper levels of management and leadership? What are the kinds of things we see that we need to have?
Okay, I'll go first this time. I suppose it's really determination. It's not that hard to do. And recognition that when you share, you get more back. And so we need to share the responsibility.
When you share, you get more back.
You do.
That's, yeah.
One of the things that we have found, and actually we being the IOC, undertook a report that was commissioned with the Loughborough University. It was our second report, and we realized that a lot of people in office are staying in office too long. And that's one of the problems. And the IOC itself has a limit on the amount of time a president can stay in office. Thomas will serve his 8 years,
mandates, right?
and he'll be able to serve one more term of 4 years, but that will be the maximum, is 12 years now. It used to be as long as the person wanted until you hit the age limit. And I know if you look around, you'll find that a lot of presidents stay for more than 12 years, which...
That's a long time.
It's a long time, and it kind of moves out people who came in at the same time as that person came in from the opportunity to serve. So perhaps having 12 years as the mandatory or the expected length of time.
How long you can be there. That would be a concrete...
could make a big difference.
Thank you for that insight. What would it be for you?
Well, firstly, I've got to hold my hand up and say I'm in my 4th term in a one-off situation. So,
and you're doing a great job.
No, but I've gone beyond 12 years, so I won't be going beyond 16, I can assure you. But I think we've got to get into the countries, the grassroots level, if there are, and there are definitely countries of the world where women aren't equal to men. And we have to get into those countries, join with government as well, not just with sports organizations, and slowly, and it will be slow, but to get the mentality of the men changed. Men have got to change their ideas. And it's been needed for centuries, but in this 21st century, it's got to happen. Because this world's had enough of men just running it. We need women together.
That deserves an applause, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to ask you one final thing. We're very focused during the next 3 days on our personal commitment. Not of our organization, not of our committee, but our personal commitment, what we can do as individuals, leaders, coaches, athletes, whoever we are. What would be your commitment looking forward, the time you will have in your mandate or what you're doing in even your own community? A personal commitment that you could point towards, that you can make to us, that personally, I'm going to do this to make this go forward, to lead the change, be the change in general equality. What would that be? That's my last question to both of you.
Well, I've in partnership with President Bach, I'm no longer chair of the Women in Sports Commission. I've been chair. I'm still a member of the International Olympic Committee, but I'm no longer chair of the Women in Sports Commission. I think I have an honorary position, but that means that they can't be mean to me if I want to go to a meeting, I think.
Well, that's
they have to
good.
listen
the door is
to
always
me.
open, I'm sure, for you, Anita, I'm sure.
And that's important to let someone else lead, so that someone else's expertise can be used, so that you can have a different viewpoint. I've been there a long time, so it was time for someone else to take that. I hope what I'll be able to do is to be able to have several more people take leadership positions, and to encourage them, and to let the men know that it's okay to have women as leaders, and you can lead again too. It's not a terrible thing. It doesn't mean your chance is over. There are lots of ways to lead without being at the head, by the way. You don't have to be in front.
Encouraging others to lead is a great commitment. Yes. Thank you for that commitment. You can plug it. Yes. Thank you.
Well, firstly, I don't know where Teen Tileman is. She must be in the room. Yeah? Yeah, over there, maybe. Anyway, she spoke to me last night, and she's concerned because, at a time of change, people wonder, are we going to still be here? Is what I've worked for so long still going to be there? And we've got a board meeting next week, and we're going to talk about maybe changing our council structure, etc., etc. She does not need to be concerned. All we're looking for is the best way to move forward. This is not an idea of putting women in sport on the back burner. It's really an idea of putting it forward to the front burner. So that's one of my commitments. And really, the second one is that I'll just take away the title of this conference, Leading the Change and Being Part of the Change, and just go with it to my maximum capability. I think that's all I can say.
We asked for one commitment, you gave us two.
Well, sorry about that.
You are very committed. Give him a hand. Thank you very much. And we have something for you, for both of you. Please join us. They want to bring something over to you guys.
Okay. All right.
It's our same delegation.
Hi.
Thank you for your valuable work.
Thanks so much. Beautiful.
Thank you for your commitment.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. Fantastic. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot again.
Sir Philip Craven.
Thank you.
And Anita DeFrantz. Give them a hand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you for that.
This time it will be so much better.